Hi friends, hello, hi, how are you? I hope you guys are having an amazing day today. Hello, hi. So today's video, first of all, candle of the day. This is a really special candle of the day. This was a gift that was sent to my P.O. box. It is from Good Smelling Things. They are a soy wax candle brand, and this is the butterscotch and chai scent. Phenomenal. Truly smells like a adorable little coffee shop. I'm in love with it. But on top of that, they customized this candle to say Mr. and Mrs. Glow. It was a wedding gift for Charles and I because we did get married. Not the big wedding yet, but the actual paperwork part got done back in March. And so this was sent to my P.O. box as a wedding gift. And I cannot thank the brand enough for sending this. And I will also link them down below. I love soy candles. And I also thought this was just so cute and personalized and adorable. So thank you to them. Hi. I feel as if before we begin today's video, I owe everyone an apology. Number one, I've already filmed this video. Fun fact, I was going out of town for a few days at the end of this month and I wanted to have everything pre-filmed and ready to go. So that way there were all the sponsorships done, just get all my work done so I could go to this beautiful lake. It was Cayuga Lake. I'm wearing my merch that I bought there. So I could go to this lake and relax, and I got there and this video the last video of the month decided that all of the footage on it wanted to be corrupted. So I said, okay, what are you, the US government? I'm not kidding, that wasn't really a joke, but this video decided to be corrupted. So I would say in the first filming of this video, I was actually really nice. I feel like I was a little sassy, but I definitely wasn't too sassy. This video, it's all game over. I've had a lot of time to mull over the things that I'm talking about, and I also just know that I'm in general in a sassier mood because it is currently midnight. And I just drove back from my vacation, which was an hour-and-a-half drive, so I'm feeling a little feisty. So the very first thing in my script is to talk about the disclaimer. Here's the disclaimer, okay? We're all adults. Unless you're not an adult, in which case, do your parents know that you're watching me? No, we're all adults. I'm going to be talking about my unpopular makeup opinions in this video. I am by no means in any of these opinions saying that I think this trend or anything that I'm talking about sucks on you as a person. I have friends who do a lot of these trends. All I am trying to say with this video is that for me personally, these are my unpopular makeup opinions, and you can have a separate unpopular opinion that is different from mine, and you can disagree with me, and we both aren't idiots for having that separate opinion. We can both have our it's not that deep. It's makeup opinions. This video is just meant to be fun. Let me know your unpopular makeup opinions down below, and please don't verbally assault me for thinking that soap brows are kind of ugly, okay? Okay, before we jump into the video, today's video does have a sponsor. So let's jump into that. Hi friends, editing me here, and today's video is sponsored by Scentbird. I am sure that you have heard of Scentbird, but if you haven't, it's an amazing perfume and cologne subscription service that allows you to shop from over 600 brands. Basically, every month you pay $16, and Scentbird allows you to choose one designer fragrance to try out. They have perfumes, colognes, and a bunch of unisex options, and each fragrance comes in these adorable little components that basically gives you a 30-day sample of the perfume so you can try it out for a month. There's also upgrades available so you can get 2 to 3 products, which is what I got this month. They carry brands like Prada, Versace, Gucci, all of these really luxury, expensive perfume. And what I love most about these is I feel like sometimes when you get a sample of a perfume at Sephora or something, you'll get the sample and it's just this tiny little thing that allows 2 squirts. You don't actually get to see how it's going to wear on you throughout the day, how it's going to work for you in different settings and environments if you actually like the perfume. I feel like Scentbird is a really great way to get a rollerball size of perfume that you can actually test out and wear throughout the month. I'm a big perfume fanatic, most of you know, but committing to pay for a gigantic bottle that's $200 of perfume is not something I am willing to do a lot of the time. And also for me, I like changing up my scents a lot. I'm not the type of person that just wears one perfume and that's it forever. So Scentbird is awesome because it allows me to have a bunch of different options and try out a bunch of different perfumes that I'm interested in without having to make the financial commitment of an entire bottle. So this month I got Versace's Crystal Noir, the Kate Spade Truly Dazzling perfume, and also Anna Sui Fantasia, which I've never heard of that brand before, but this one has absolutely been my favorite. It smells amazing. It smells like a really bougie bakery. I love it, but those are the three I got, but you can go and look at all of their different options. Like I said, they have a ton. If you're interested in trying Scentbird, you can use my code for 30% off. It will be linked in the description. And by doing that, you only have to pay $11 for your first month. Also, they have a brand new app that you can download that makes picking your scents and managing your subscription 10 times easier. So I'd also recommend checking that out. Thank you so much to Scentbird for sponsoring this video and also making sure I smell amazing. And let's get into the video. I do just want to say I really appreciate you guys allowing me to have more sponsors than normal this month. I haven't really seen any comments giving me shit about it, and I really greatly appreciate it. I try normally to space out my sponsorships a lot better than I was able to this month, but this month was just absolute insanity. Between having to go on this trip that I was just on that had been planned for like a year, having to sell my house and get my house ready to be on the market. All of my contractors canceled on me for that house, so I was there pretty much every day for about 3 weeks trying to get it ready to go on the market, and that led to a slew of just backups. So I normally will never again be posting like this many videos in a row with sponsored content on it. I do like to break it up, but I hope that the quality of the content was worth, and I hope of this video too, the quality is worth the advertisement. Like, I've really been trying to put those ads on videos that I feel like the quality is worth sitting through an ad or even being interested in buying an ad. So I just want to say that, and I appreciate that you guys, nobody's been giving me too much shit about that. I really do, because I was a little stressed, but everybody's been very nice. So thank you for that. Also check out Scentbird. They really are dope. I really like them. Okay, unpopular opinion number one. I've already said it. I don't like soap brows. I don't like them. When I mean soap brows, what I mean is those brows where you like rub a spoolie in soap, or now brands like, I know Patrick Ta has one, ABH came out with something kind of similar. They have this like sort of hard pomade that you can rub your spoolie into, and then it makes your brows sort of stick up. So it gives you this very fluffy brow. I guess I should say not soap brows, more like the fluffy brow effect where your brows like stick straight up. It's not even that I dislike this like on other people. Like, I have friends and mutuals who do this very fluffy brow. Twintorials is a great example. I follow this account, Twintorials. It's two girls, they're twins, they're adorable, they're super talented, and they do those fluffy brows, and on them I'm like, iconic. Like, you look amazing, you look so good. When I try to do fluffy brows on me, I feel like I look like I just stuck a fork into a toaster and got freaking electrocuted. Like, I just feel like on my face shape and on my face frame, if every single brow is not perfectly laid down and every single hair is not in the place I want it to be, I hate it. Honestly, the fuzzy brow trend really reminds me, I almost feel like it's kind of interesting that the fuzzy brows seemingly take like more time to do and take more care, because you have to do the whole soap brow routine and there's all this work to it that I've seen people do, when honestly to me, like, that's just what my eyebrows look like when I wake up in the morning. Like, after I've been rolling around all night in an eye mask, my eyebrows have the fluffy brow effect, and I hate it. I hate how I look with the fluffy eyebrows. I always think it looks horrible. And that's really all I have to say about that. I know that that's super trendy and everybody thinks it's like so fun. And low key, honestly, the whole soap brow thing too, I don't like. I don't really like, I have the Patrick Ta like dupe, and I have actually tried a bar of soap and the soap brow before, and I just don't get what the hype is about. Maybe I do it wrong, but I always end up getting like flakes of texture from like the soap or the pomades in my brows, and they end up looking just kind of chunky. So on top of being fluffy, they also have like weird clear or soapy chunks in them, and I don't really see how it's any more efficient or effective than just using a brow gel. Like, it's one of those things that conceptually I also don't like, on top of not looking good when I do it, I also just like don't understand how people do it. To be fair though, I've watched like a tutorial and a half on how to try to do it. So that's probably on me, honestly. But my next unpopular opinion, I don't know if this is that unpopular. So for everyone who's mad at me about the soap brows thing, maybe this will reel you back in, because I feel like if you can't do winged eyeliner, you hate winged eyeliner. Like I fully believe that this is like me just like projecting, but like I have fully convinced myself that I look bad in winged eyeliner because I can't do it. So if I thought I looked good and I wanted to like achieve that look, I physically cannot do. My hands do not move in a way that would allow me to do winged eyeliner on myself. So if it was like my favorite thing to do and my favorite look and I thought I looked the prettiest when I had winged liner, I would just be always disappointed. So I think because I just cannot do it, I have convinced myself that I hate it, and that has made me feel better about the fact that I never have winged eyeliner, like ever. I literally just don't do it anymore, because I used to try to like dabble in it every now and then, because everybody always says about winged eyeliner, biggest thing that everyone says is like, oh, it just takes practice. You just have to practice, and the more that you practice, the better you're gonna get, and it's gonna be fun. I used to do winged liner every day, especially when I was first on YouTube. You can watch some of my old videos. You can see I literally would do this winged eyeliner. It was thick. It was like I took one of those Crayola markers, like the thick ones, and just drew a strip out of my eye. Like it was so thick. The wing never had a point. My wing was always just a line that was like flat, because I couldn't do the point. I couldn't actually do the wing. It was just a line. Oh my god, it was so bad. So I've really just convinced myself that winged eyeliner sucks and it's not meant for me. Yeah, I understand that people say it takes years of practice, but does that mean that I have to look bad for years? Like, I'm not gonna do that. Absolutely not. I'm not gonna look bad for years just to like maybe one day think that I look pretty with winged liner. No. So I hate winged liner as a result. This, I don't know if this is unpopular either. I think this is more of a conspiracy theory. Moisturizer and moisturizing primer are the same thing, and you cannot tell me otherwise. Moisturizing primers and just like face lotion, they do the same thing. I don't understand why they are marketed as two separate things when they are the same thing. I understand that like there's probably different ingredients. So like moisturizer probably has ingredients that are gonna like help your skin. Priming moisturizers aren't gonna help your skin. Like they don't have those added benefits. However, what I'm specifically talking about is the effect that it has on your face and the impact that it has in putting on makeup is the same, because the moisturizing primer is the thing that's lacking. Like that's the thing that doesn't have the bonus ingredients that are like good for your skin. That's the thing that's purely like a cosmetic, make your makeup look good, make your skin more hydrated to put your foundation on top of, right? But a moisturizer does that. And also, two for one, can someone like James Welsh or like Skincare by Hiram explain to me how those are in any way different? Because I don't believe that they are. Like I don't believe that those two things are different. You can't tell me they're different. Okay, this next unpopular opinion. I never, ever liked Juvia's Place eyeshadow palettes. Now, if you haven't been around in the makeup, like if you're newer to the makeup scene, I don't think you understand how sort of inflammatory that statement is, because there was a moment in time where it was really Nikki Tutorial's impact. I feel like when she started shouting out Juvia's Place and talking about them more, they got really, really hyped and really big for having this amazing, like unreal, beautiful, pigmented formula that was like amazing, cool color stories and like all of these dope eyeshadow palettes. And I remember I bought like a bunch of them. Like I had a Magic palette. I had the, oh, what was the neon pink one? I'll put a picture of it here. They had this like neon hot pink one that had like all of these colors, but also had neutrals in it. I had that one. I had so many of these freaking Juvia's Place palettes. There was a point in time when I was first starting out in makeup, they were getting so big, and I literally bought one on Poshmark, and it was because I didn't have one and I could not afford one. So I bought a used one on Poshmark, and it ended up being a fake palette that came like smashed. And so I had to return it. It was a whole thing. Anyway, that's irrelevant to the story, but I don't think that the formula on Juvia's Place palettes are bad. Like, I'll never sit here and be like, it's a bad formula, because the formula is really good. However, it's really good if you're someone like Nikki Tutorials and like, you know what the you're doing. If you are someone like me who really didn't know what they were doing with these Juvia's Place palettes, they are way too pigmented. Like, for especially their colorful shadows are stupidly pigmented and kind of difficult to blend out just because of the sheer amount of pigment that you are picking up off a brush. So from a me perspective, like, I was never going to like those. It's the same reason I don't like a lot of overly pigmented eyeshadow palettes. For somebody who's doing these creative, amazing, like beautiful looks, those palettes are probably amazing. But for someone like me, like, that formula was never going to work. And on top of that, I never really liked the Juvia's Place color stories. And the thing about that is, it's not that I didn't like the color stories in theory, right? Like, in theory, I would look at them and be like, wow, that's really beautiful. That's so different. That's unique. However, once I got them in my hands, I could not create a singular look. Like, I could not produce an eyeshadow look with those palettes. I couldn't do it. I would look at those palettes and draw just an absolute blank. And I used to blame myself, and low key, I feel like you could still blame me. Like, I definitely am not the most like creative eyeshadow wearer. You see me right now, I'm wearing freaking brown eyeshadow. Like, I'm not the most creative person. Back then though, I kind of was a lot more creative with eyeshadow, and I still could not figure out how to work those eyeshadow palettes. Like, I still could not figure out a look to do with them. The colors, like, I would look at them and nothing would make sense to me. Like, I ended up giving away, I think I decluttered every single Juvia's Place palette I had. And the main reason wasn't even because the formula was difficult to use, but it was way more about the fact that I just could not think of a way to like utilize them. Like, you have to be, I feel like, a very creative person, especially those OG Juvia's Place palettes. I feel like now they have way more user-friendly formulas, user-friendly color stories that would be like super easy to use. Back then, like 2017, 2018, I feel like you had to be a creative person to make those palettes work for you, and they were being marketed to the everyday consumer, and that was just not me. So I guess my unpopular opinion is I don't think Juvia's Place is for the everyday consumer. I don't. I think they create beautiful eyeshadow palettes and beautiful color stories, but I, as a basic person, don't know what to do with those. Following up on that, Modern Renaissance was that good. Let's talk about it. If you don't know, again, kind of a throwback, back in 2016, the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance was the moment. She was the girl. I remember asking for that palette for my birthday and literally like crying when I opened it because I had seen it everywhere. And the fact that my mom was even able to get it at the time, I was like absolutely shocked that she was even able to get it because it was really hard to get. It was selling out constantly. You couldn't find it in stores anywhere. And honestly, even with like a 2021 mindset and like what I know about makeup now that I didn't know back then, the Modern Renaissance, despite how I feel about Anastasia, despite all else, that palette is still phenomenal. Like, it's still an amazing palette with an amazing formula. The way that those mattes just so seamlessly blended together, and the way that that color story was so easy to use in that you could make something really neutral or something really bold. The way that those shimmers would just absolutely glisten. Like, the shimmers were, it was that perfect Anastasia shimmer formula that I wish they would continue more of. It's the same shimmer formula you can find in the Sultry, which is why the Sultry palette is quite literally my favorite Anastasia palette. Like, it was just perfect. And honestly, even now, I still think, despite the fact that there's like 1,000,000,002 warm eyeshadow palettes on the market now, I still think that that palette was like one of the best warm toned eyeshadow palettes, like red and orangey tones, to ever come out. Formula wise, the way that it was so concise and perfectly laid out, like everything about that palette, I still think it's amazing. There aren't like a ton of eyeshadow palettes that I can be like, yeah, that stands the test of time in makeup, because obviously things feel outdated, things feel whatever. I still think like 2021, that palette is amazing and I would still buy it, honestly. If I wasn't still like on the fence about Anastasia, I would probably rebuy that palette again for a second time because I just loved that palette. Some of the prettiest I've ever felt was using the Modern Renaissance, the Soft Glam, and the Sultry. Those are 3 palettes that like I remember how pretty I felt I looked while I was using those 3 palettes. I genuinely feel like overlining your lips and over heavily contouring to the point of trying to change your face structure drastically, like in person, I genuinely don't think it ever looks realistic unless you're doing something like drag. Drag queens and drag kings, I feel like they genuinely have mastered this art of like really sculpting their faces to look different, and like they can do it very, very well. And I know other people who can too, but I feel like for the most part, someone like me, for example, like just a daily glam, like I was trying to make my chin look smaller or like my cheeks look whatever without looking like I was wearing makeup. And like, that's not how fucking contour works. You can't naturally contour or like naturally really overline your lips. Like a slight overline, sure, but like really like give yourself new lips. You can't do that naturally while still looking like you're not wearing makeup. That is not possible. I feel like there was and still low-key is this trend of like no makeup where you put on like a pound of makeup and then they're like, see, it looks so natural. It's like I'm not even wearing any. I feel like with contouring, you have to just own up to the fact that it's going to look like you're wearing makeup, and like that's fine. But this whole no makeup but it's actually a pound of makeup is freaking ridiculous, and I feel like contouring falls into that. I don't even contour anymore. I remember I used to think that contour was such an integral step in my makeup routine, and like I owned multiple contour kits for some reason. I wasn't a professional makeup artist, I just owned them. I owned all these contour kits, and I remember being like doing the whole like fish pucker thing and really trying to get into the hollows of my cheekbones that don't exist because I have a round heart-shaped face. And also it's the same thing with overlining. Like I would try so hard to like subtly overline my lips and they just always looked dumb. Like it was so obvious that I had overlined. It was so obvious that I was trying to use bronzer to like make my cheeks look less puffy. It doesn't work. It doesn't work, and it looks on it honestly just ends up looking kind of silly and ridiculous. Like contour in person, like I said, unless you're just like willing to commit to the fact that it's going to look like you're wearing makeup, natural contour in person or natural lip lining in person truly never has looked good on me. Like never. It's always glaringly obvious what I was trying to achieve and accomplish with that. All I have for this next point is black eyeshadow, ... Satan. And then I also put, I wrote this script a few days ago, so this is kind of funny. I also put kohl pencil liner, ... also Satan? Question mark? Yeah, black eyeshadow absolutely sucks. There's no way around it. Dark brown eyeshadow is superior. Black eyeshadow is impossible to blend. It's near impossible to find a true black eyeshadow. I feel like they all tend to lean either very blue or like charcoal gray or something like that. Like finding a true black, matte black eyeshadow is very difficult. I've only found like 2 in my life. So just because of the color, it's very hard to find a true like deep actual matte black. And number 2, it's so, once you add a tiny bit, it's like vanilla extract. When you're baking and your recipe calls for vanilla extract, a little goes a long way. So you really have to be careful to only use a tiny bit, because if you use too much, it'll mess up your cupcakes. Black eyeshadow is the vanilla extract of a makeup routine. By using black eyeshadow, if you put even a touch too much on, you're screwed. You're either screwed and you look like a raccoon, or why did I say raccoon like that? You're either screwed and you look like a raccoon, or you're blending out your eyeshadow for years, and it's so infuriating because I love like a deep smoky eye. Like I love the way that it looks. I think it can be very pretty, super sultry, even just like a super intense. I see Instagram models who do this like all over black eye and they'll like blend it out with red, and I'm like, oh my god, that's so stunning. Could not be me. If I use more than a touch of black eyeshadow, it's over for me. Like I might as well just restart my face. And frankly, this next one, I won't apologize for this opinion. I've been trying to like apply all of these opinions to myself, but this one I can't keep quiet about. If you use kohl eyeliner pencil in your waterline, who hurt you? Like what happened to you that has made you feel that using kohl eyeliner in your waterline is like the superior way to put on eyeliner? Gel eyeliner, we live in a world where gel eyeliner just exists. It just is here. It exists. Like gel liner is so easy to put on. It doesn't hurt your eyes. It glides on. It's mostly smudge proof if you find the right one. It feels good on your eyes. Like it doesn't irritate them throughout the day. You don't get shards of pencil. I remember when I used to use a black like eyeliner pencil, like it was like I literally had to use a sharpener, a pencil sharpener to sharpen this thing. I will never forget getting a sliver in right, not in my eye, but like right, something horrible would have happened. But I remember I was like using it on me and it was dull, and I got a piece of the wood like right underneath my eye, and I was in just pure agony. Like, why did I do that to myself? And why does anybody put themselves through that? Like, why does anybody use black like kohl liner pencil that is like, you need to sharpen your eyeliner pencil to make it like ready to go? What? I don't understand that one. Maybe it's just me because I have very sensitive eyes and like a very sensitive waterline, and honestly I'm kind of a baby about everything. So like maybe it's just me and my very low pain tolerance that can't fathom that, but I do not understand why literally anybody uses anything other than gel liner for the waterline. Like it makes zero sense to me. That's gonna be it for me. Let me know your unpopular makeup opinions down below. I am very, very interested to hear if you guys agree with me, if you disagree with me. Again, we're all adults, let's be kind, unless you use eyeliner pencils that aren't gel liners, because then I don't care about your opinion anyway. No, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna get hate for that one. But yeah, let me know your opinions down below. I'm super curious to hear it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please like and subscribe, or dislike, or just subscribe, or do neither. Honestly, just so happy you're watching me. Thank you so much for being here. My merch, my social media, and everything I'm wearing on my face will be linked down below, along with some links for Pride Month. Last day for those links. Happy Pride Month to everyone out there. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!
What?